Delta 9 coming at you from the kitchen. How you guys doing? Happy 420 weekend. I bet you all are out doing something fabulous this weekend. Unlike me. It's okay. I got to work the 20th and the 21st, so thought I'd come out and share a little bit of 420 with y'all. How you doing, everybody? I'm going to smoke a little dab and some 9-pound hammer from my grow. I'm making a Hawaiian pineapple. I guess it would be Hawaiian is pineapple, right? So a Hawaiian pineapple chicken in the crock pot that's been cooking all day. I did all my soaps, wrapped them, labeled them, did all my chores, got all my things done. So I'm breaking up some of the 9-pound hammer right now. Happy 420 to you guys. I'm going to smoke a little bit of this maca. I don't know what it is. Some sort of crumble concentrate. I've tried it. It's pretty good. What's the name of this one? Wedding Megono. Oh, no. No, Wedding Meaono. Wedding Megono. I don't know what that is. Or some grape pie. So I'm going to do a couple videos tomorrow, and then I have work for a couple days, so I'll be down for a couple days. Then the tarot readings will go out next week for the month of May already. Can you believe it? Jeez. Where's the time going? It's hot as heck outside right now. I've actually flipped my switch in there. So they're running at 7 at night to 7 in the morning, trying to run them on off time, off hours. So I don't have to deal with the light bill. It wasn't too bad though. I actually got it. It was like $43. It was pretty cheap. Thought it was good, baby. So I don't remember the strain that I was growing when I grew this 9-pound hammer. This is Jinx Proof 9-pound hammer. How you doing, Reddy? Happy 420. How you doing, Doll? Happy 420 to you. I know everybody's out doing something, I'm sure, because it's quite a big weekend for 420, and with all the things, the restrictions we've all been under, right? I know there's a bunch of seshes going on, and people are probably tearing it up and having a good time. I'm very well, thank you for asking. Very well. Hot. It's hot, and I don't want to turn my air on. The air in the grow hasn't come on yet, so I figure if the plants can wait, I can wait. You're waiting until 420, the deals, whoop, whoop, yeah. I won't be able to get there. Well, I could get there after work, I guess. But like here, there's only 2 places that I'd really like to go to, and it's like the first 100 customers get some sort of swag deal. But I would think that they give discounts or something of that nature all day long because it's 420. But I had it off. I planned it that way. And then my boss contacted me and said, hey, we really need you to do those 2 days if you can. So, okay. Okay. Treats. I wish I know I wanted to go. I was going to go down there on 420, but I can't go now. So they close like at 8 o'clock, and I work a 10-hour day that day, and they're in slow. I'm probably not going to want to drive down there right after work. I'm good. I mean, I'm good. I've made chocolate covered strawberries infused. I know. Good. Do that for me. Oh, I feel a cold breeze. Uh, I made chocolate covered strawberries. I'm trying to clean my thing out right now and load up a bowl. I was trying to remember what strain I grew this with because it's Jinx proof 9-pound hammer, and there was a boy in the tent somewhere, and it has a few seeds in it, and so I popped one of them on the 16th, and that taproot was like that the very next day. I'm like, shizzle. So I put it in a pot, and this was outside all day. Now it's in. Now it's right there. But I flipped in there. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? How's things going for you? Shoot, I know Mendocino County's hopping right now. Tularia's hopping right now. Shit. Michigan's hopping right now. I know a few people are in Michigan having a good old time. Shout out to Doc Wiggler and Canna and everybody. Hope you're having a blast. Happy 420 to you guys. I saw your live. Doc Wiggler was crying. He needed air. Uppercut. And I haven't heard of that. What do I do with it all? Well, I donate to veterans that can't afford it. I make a lot of CBD products that I sell, and I don't really grow any more than I need for myself. The rest of it's donated. You know, I believe in giving back to people that can't afford it. I smoke a shit ton though. Yeah, I do donate. I do donate. I have a friend right now who's not doing very well, and I just saw him again and dropped some stuff off for him. He's on hospice now. Greetings from Maine. Happy 420. Gonna grab a dab of candy. Granddaddy. Oh, shit. That's one of my favorite strains. That's one of my favorite strains, by the way. I can't find a whole lot of stuff here. In the Central Coast, it's pretty, I don't know if I want to say behind the eight ball. It's just that it's a very conservative county. I remember when me and my ex-husband used to come here, man. We came here like I'm gonna age myself, 20 some years ago, right? And they had literally would roll up the sidewalks at 5 o'clock. You couldn't find anybody on the street unless it was a very wealthy child driving a Beamer. Pink OG Kush, yum. Excuse me. Pink OG Kush. That sounds good. I looked at some seeds when I was down there. That's a really good idea because it's really medicinal. Was that Michelle? It's close to bedtime. Oh, okay, M3. Thank you so much for stopping in. Much love to you. That's a big thing about roots. I do root tea. If you look under my videos, I use every portion of the plant. Happy 422, and hope you sleep well. Cheers. This is very tasty. I had only had a very small taste of 9-pound hamburger when I harvested it because I put it in a bag because I didn't realize there was a guy in there. And I took it out of the bag sometime later and started looking at it, and it was like, wow. Oh, okay. Cheers. I was like, that shit is bomb. So I took some out. The buds are like rock. They're like hard as a rock, right? And yeah, it's been sitting probably for, it was probably in the zip to, the seal meal bags, those things for about 10 months. I figured I was just going to use it for some edibles or do something with it. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I ran across it. So I'm going to try a little bit of this. Reddy, have you seen ganja? Can't really see it, can you? It's kind of like diamonds. I can call you Michelle. Okay, Michelle. Okay. I when you came in, I said, "Oh, is that Michelle?" Because I have a friend, Michelle, who comes in, and I adore that name. I adore that name. Why couldn't my parents call me Michelle? Or Cheryl? Come on, that is one of the most common names. It is this stuff. Wedding meow, wedding meow, and it is by this farm. And it was 37 for a gram. Ganja. Yeah, Ganja Barbie. Ganja Barbie, meow. Ganja Barbie. If you see her ready, I can't seem to get her IG to come up, and I know she wanted me to contact her about her new I think it was her tincture that she's making, because she wanted me to check it out. And so please tell her I'm not avoiding her. I can't get her IG to come up. Oh, you haven't seen them? Oh, okay. I saw her man. I saw her man for a second. Well, that's some stuff there. Shizzle. This is going to throw me back, I bet you. Well, we might as well. It's 420 weekend. And I'm off tomorrow. So I'm going to have me some strawberries and some chocolate covered almonds that I made that are infused. And I made a pineapple chicken with red peppers and tomato sauce and honey, or not tomato sauce, ketchup, honey, soy sauce, brown sugar. And then you cook it for like 6 hours, and then you remove all your chicken. Cheers, how you doing? Happy 420, Mitten. Happy 420 dough. And then you take all your chicken out after it's cooked for 6 hours, and you add 1 tablespoon. Cheers to you, JK. JK in the house. And then put a tablespoon of, you can use arrowroot or cornstarch, and then 1 tablespoon of water. Mix it up, and it thickens the sauce in the crock pot that's been cooking for 6 hours. Throw your chicken back in. I made some jasmine rice, all of it. Infused. Been cooking 6 hours, baby. I use the infused honey because y'all know I infuse my honey. Shit. When I tell you I am the Martha Stewart of cannabis, I mean it. There goes my diet, right? Right out the door, Michelle. Hey, Mitten. I'm going to light this, guys, so I'm going to do it off camera so I don't want to offend anyone. Talk amongst yourself while I count, because apparently my mother couldn't teach us how to walk and talk and chew gum at the same time. She did, but I don't really like hot dogs. No, not when I'm making or testing the product. Now, have I done that? And that's why I don't do it anymore, because I learned the hard way. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? I'm tanked. Number one, and two, I want to just go crawl in my bed. What is happening? And it is because I've tasted everything. You know how you're a baker and you taste everything. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pewin. I just appreciate you guys so much. Happy 420, Pewin. I don't know. I love cannabis. What can I say? I don't like big pharma. I'm totally against big pharma. Don't want it. Don't want it. Not a nap, right? Sorry for the typo. Yeah, it's like, no, we can't go take a nap now. Because I make these Reese's peanut butter cups. Cheers. And they are to die for. Ooh, meow. Meow, meow. That's meow. That's a really big meow. Psst, psst. Shout out to Max the cannabis. I still have this rig, babe. My favorite rig, the only dab rig I've ever owned. Max gave it to me when he was sponsoring my channel, and I absolutely adore this rig. It has a little tree on there. You had a 3-time kidney transplant since 1980, and you're trying what? To avoid pain medicine from pharma. Oh, you should, especially if you just had that. You just because hi, how you doing, Canna? Happy 420. Happy 420. You know, I'll tell you a story about that. I'm a nurse, right? Everybody knows that for a very long time. And when you're in the trenches of it, what works for pain, I would do some it depends on you. I'm going to have to say I could tell you so many strains that would be awesome for pain right out of the gate, but it's going to be based on you. Have you ever smoked? What kind of have you smoked? Sativa, hybrid, indicas? Do you ingest? Do you do edibles? Do you do topicals? There's a certain way. Hey, how you doing? Canna Mangala. I'm gonna fuck that name up. I'm gonna call Canna. Happy 420, everybody. Happy 420. I flipped the switch, but I'll tell you, as a nurse, you hold it, right? When you're out everywhere, you're simply English in which, okay. Oh, okay. Well, you're gaining some weight then. I would hold it all the time. How you doing, Mr. Greenbody? Happy 420, doll. Happy 420. I've been looking at your pictures on IG and you are, I'm bowing. I'm just saying, I'm bowing. I'm bowing, bitch. Shit. I mean, I tell my parents, you should have had been me born a male. It's been known to to relieve pain better than CBD. You know what works better than that? Delta 8. And here's the thing, the kicker about Delta 8 is you don't get this the high up here. But what was weird is if I smoked it, it was different. If I ate it, I got bam in your face. Yeah, you have to drive. Reloads. Let's rock. Delta 8 is THC. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is THC, but however, it's broken down. It has degraded into CBN more so. So you do get somewhat of a psychoactive effect of it. But I didn't when I smoked it. But when I ate it, I ate 3 gummies. Because that's all she had was gummies. And I'm like, don't you have any smokables? Because this is legal to have. What is wrong with my county? And she said, no, but I have some edible gummies. And so I said, well, I'll try that then. And I ate 3 of them. And here in California, it's 10 milligrams per gummy. I ate 3 and I had to put them away. 11 into Delta 11. Yeah. It's all in how you break it down. It's all in how it degrades. It's no different than if you have a grower that's growing. I'm going to use that as an example. Some growers like to pluck their flowers right at the peak of THC, right? And some growers like to wait until they're about a 70-30 or even a 60-40 on THC to CBD based on their trichome production, right? And the colors. You bake an ounce of 8 ounce. Ooh, yum. Yum. That's my kind of person right there. You've been digging some edibles. I'm telling you, edibles, P, for some reason, they have been tanking me lately, and it might be because I'm only like 117 pounds. So that might be my problem. You can. You can. I know. I remember when I first smoked cannabis, I thought, oh, I'm cool. I could handle this, right? I had to literally sit down on the curb. I could go to class. I'm like, I think I'm going home for the day. Cheers, everybody. Happy 420 to you all. 9-pound hammer in the bowl. Jinx brew. 2 hours to hit you for the candy. I'm like that too. If I eat one of my suckers, it takes me a while. But if I eat one of my chocolate covered strawberries or my peanut butter cups, I'm done. I'm done. I don't know what it is. If you think you're gonna die, I wouldn't recommend edibles. I wouldn't. You know why? Because people go, I can handle this. And you tell them to eat a half a cookie, right? They eat the whole fucking cookie. They call you an hour later. What the hell? The 80s. Beaver seed. Beaver seed. Tapping 101. Compounds. Oh, really? I have to check that shit out. I I have seen some pretty profound stuff being done on YouTube with cannabis, and everybody's doing these terpene profiles that are freaking amazing. And I just don't have the equipment. No, I don't have the equipment. I wish I did. I'm trying to, you know, just maintain what I have and get it and be on the up and up, right? Make sure that my shit's being tested and that I'm sponsored and that I'm, handling business and I'm giving back where it's been so graciously given to me. I remember when I came out here, man, I learned so much from Drew Grow. Mr. Grow is in the room. I from so many people, I can't even tell you them all. It's tripping. I don't trip on cannabis though. I don't trip on it. I remember that too. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. Do you know how long that swag sat in that bag? You know it. You know, Reddy, it sat in the bag for a long time. So I'm sure it broke down. They broke down. It degraded their cannabis big time. CBG, CBN. But I mean, some people will say to me when I did the video, they'll say, I don't know what I was smoking, but I got so much relief. And I said, I'll bet you it's because their cannabis was degraded a little. Psychedelic experience. That I don't know much about. CBG. Psychedelic, I don't know much about. I did mushrooms one time, and I thought I was going to vomit them up. But I remember watching the Super Bowl. Yeah, it degrades. It degrades it. There are so many knowledgeable channels out here, like where I learned how to graft and breed. Like Main Girl taught me breeding, and then I learned grafting, and it's just all trial and error. Acid was good for depression. Wake up. Acid, like window pane acid, CBN, CBN to CBG. The THC degrades. Yes, it does. And that's just because it's sitting over time. It's just like any other product, right? It's really awesome strains back in the day. I remember going and saying to my guy when I would buy from him, I would say, "Hey, I want the good stuff, not this, I want the good stuff." And I remember having seeds in my stuff all the time. I don't think anybody complained then. Cheers. And I never heard of so many strains. God, that's good. That is good. That is so smooth. It doesn't even make me cough. White ash, baby. Like neon colors. Yes. Atoms. That's energy, baby. I remember doing it one time. I was working at a factory and we made braces. And I was like in my 20s. And my girlfriend talked me into doing the half a hit of window pane with her at work, right? And we're supposed to be doing so many pieces per hour. I think our boss sent us home. I don't recall exactly what happened, but it was not a good, pretty picture. Just a million. It was laced with something. Wow. Oh, you didn't know what it was? Oh, really? See, that's scary. That's scary. I wouldn't like that if that happened to me. I'd be like, what the hell? Right? I remember somebody gave me something one time because I grew up with a girl, Ina, Liberace's niece. Her name was Ina, and she had a pocket full of Quaaludes all the time, right? And she was every time she'd see me, she would give me a kiss, and then she would pop a Quaalude in my mouth. I'm like, God damn it, Ina. I used to do Quaaludes on top of bong rips. I loved it. I never did that. Crack? I never did that. Is that a strain? Is that a strain? Because they have some very strange strains or sandwiched between no pilging. Oh, yeah, no pills. No pills for me either. Mm-mm. No, just weed. Just weed, please. Yep. I don't take pills. I don't. I've smoked green crack. I smoke green crack, and I've also used the terpenes, the food grade terpenes of that green crack. It was good. I love this. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. I like Cuvée, Granddaddy Perp, because yeah, crack is whack. I seen too many people in my trauma bay. They would come in thinking they were pretty, right? And they had no teeth. Their hair, oh God. I'd be like, girl, what are you doing to yourself? Oh, it was horrible, and she couldn't stop. A lot of them can't stop, And when you can't be judgmental on them. It's a good buzz. It's a sativa strain. That's what I was just going to say. It's a sativa strain, and when I smoked it, I was like creative as hell all day long. All I wanted to do was color and create shit, you know. It was like busy bee, quite crazy. I'm an indica girl all the way. And the reason is because I had a pretty severe back injury. I do enjoy them, but they bother me. They make me real antsy. Mhm. They make me feel like I've done like whites or speed or something like cocaine. It just makes me like all, and I don't like that feeling. I don't like that at all. I'm already hyper. I don't need that shit. I haven't taken this. Me either, Mitten. Me either, Mitten. Me either, baby. Fist pump. That's awesome. I was telling someone the other day, it is not the medicine you're taking that's hurting you. It's the additives. That's because this company and this company and this company and this company and this company, they're all distributors, right? And it's just like any other recipe, they have to change one thing in the recipe to call it theirs. And it's usually an additive that's not fucking good for you, that makes your fingers crack or makes you in a rash or nausea or all kinds of crap, right? That's what makes you sick, not so much the pills themselves. Landrace strains. I have landrace strains. I like landrace strains. I have a 98 hash plant that's amazing. I have Doc Wiggler's peach puree. I have TGA's landrace. Miss Jill's working on a strain right now. She's going to send me for the vets. I have some pretty amazing strains, but for me, because of my back injury, they have me on heavy duty big pharma for a very long time. And I am a tank. Okay. And so I literally wear it. I bathe in it, wear it, use lotion, salve, cream, soap, bath bombs, lip balm. Durban poison is really good. White widow is really good. Yes, white widow is really good. Durban poison is really good. Cuvée is really good. I like clementine too. I like clementine a lot. This is good. Meow. This is really good. I'm ripping. Holy anointing oil, right? Yeah, it is. It is. It's God's elixir. I mean, think about it. What's the first thing that was created on earth? Light, right? And plants grow in the ground. They have to have light, air, and water to live. And so this grows in the ground. That's when people say to me, well, what if I take and just go to the herb store and buy these herbs and I make myself a tea? I said, that's good. You could do that. But you need to know the herb that you're messing with because you can poison yourself. Oh, P Win, thank you so much, darling. That was so sweet of you. 420, look at that. In honor of 420. Cheers, P Win. Thank you. I said, pharma, the pill, cheers, everybody, is a portion of the plant, right? The plant is the whole plant. And so they'll say, what if I take elderberry and make an elderberry tea? I said, you could do that. I said, but there's a problem. Elderberry has husk. And if you don't boil it down properly, it's poison. It's toxic to your system. So if you don't know that, you'll end up in the ER. Man, I'm gonna have to tell Jinxie about that. Ooh, that is white ash. White ash. I am part of the white ash gang. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Mr. Growitt. I've been following his channel for a minute. And Med Grower and Drew Grow and tomato leaves can kill you. Tomato leaves can kill you? Hash of color? I would love hash. I love hash. Do you remember smoking honey oil off a butter knife at the stove? I remember doing that. I think mine is too after a few months. Not Mary Jane, not Mary Jane. Did anybody go anywhere? Did you guys see any special events? Was there any like amazing stuff you guys got to see this weekend? I know some people were doing some pretty big 420 shit and events. I'm like, why can't I be there with them? Another day. I'll go again. The stems on plants are good. You have to be careful when you're doing stems. You have there's a video on my channel about it. It'd take a lot, wouldn't it? Yeah, P said, yeah. In Ann Arbor. I use every part of the cannabis plant. Oh, you're on lockdown? You're on lockdown? Where the fuck are you? I heard that it's going back up. It's going back up. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Yeah, where are you? I want to know that too. I thought it was over. But I've been watching the news and there's certain areas that are locked back down and COVID is up. Oh, shit. Where are you ready? Everybody here is like all over the place. I want to come where you are, P. I want to be there. Jackson, Jackson, Mississippi or Michigan? Canada. Oh, Canada she may get stuck in Michigan if you're talking Michigan. Because she just went to Michigan for a sesh. She just flew out to Michigan a few days ago for a sesh. Michigan just got locked down. Oh, I hope she does not get stuck over there. She has a daughter. She has a daughter here. Oh, I'll have to go see what's happening over there. I didn't hear that today. Did that happen today? I'm not traveling for a second. No. You know when I'm going to travel? In my car. In my car. That's how I'm traveling. I don't even go to a restaurant and sit down and eat. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'll order out curbside. That's what they're saying, Canna, that things are skyrocketing. Your daughter worked last lockdown. Yeah, security crew. Oh shit. What a rough job. I work front line, so I worked through the whole fucking pandemic. I go back to work the 20th. Mm. Chicago restaurants were opening because people were partying anyway. I don't want the shot either. You probably stop. Smart. I mean, I'm growing vegetables, I'm trying to become self-sustainable because if our world goes to hell in a handbasket, shit, I'm a nurse, I'm a Reiki practitioner, I have my trauma shit all in my room in my closet. I'm growing my own garden and my vegetables outside and my own medicine inside. So I'm set. The only thing I got to figure out is some sort of petro and maybe electricity because what do I get, a generator? I'd have to get a generator. I could do flashlight, I could do candles, shit, I don't care. You're in Michigan? I was born in Michigan. I was born in Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. I fucking love Michigan. I wouldn't travel for a second there right now, and I have family there. Yep, it's amazing freedom, P. It is. It's amazing freedom to be able to even if you're outside, it don't fucking matter. Inside, outside, shit. Grow hut, grow tent, grow whatever, grow closet, grow cupboard. I don't care, right? What works for you, dial that shit in, baby. And because I read an article that was very interesting to me, and I thought it was quite profound that they're going to stop our money, like our currency, and just give us like card, right? What are you guys going to chip us to? And you're already watching us. I would travel there. I would drive there. I would drive there. I could drive it in 3 days. I could drive to Michigan. I could drive it there in 3 days. Bitcoin. Buy some Bitcoin. I don't know shit about it, P. I have to see. I've been behind the eight ball. I've been behind the eight ball because I've always, never really had too much to worry about, but now I do. It's social unrest, social unjust is what's happening. It's social unrest, and it's planetary and a whole lot of shit. Tomorrow I'll put a video up about Under the Cracked Wide Open. I'll fill you guys in on the planetary shifts in the new moon that's coming. Bitcoin. I'm going to Google that shit. I'm going to Google that shit when I get off here. I'm looking at states that give like older people he's got stock in it, he says. Yeah, I don't know. I just think if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, we better know what the hell we're doing. It's a cash out. It's a cash out. Okay. Okay. Well, they're telling me like I'm like, so that means so I was listening to them talk about it on the news, and I'm like, well, I'm thinking to myself, kick it back in my chair. I'm thinking, well, I got this and this. I got this much money in there. What does that mean? It means if you lock those fucking doors, I can't get my money. That'd be rather upsetting to me. I don't know about you, but that would be rather upsetting to me. And then they said something about limiting us on a daily expenditure. How the hell? It's tricky to track it down. I think I heard something about cannabis in that right recently. And hey, you know who's going to jump on the bandwagon? Uber. Uber. Uber's going to start delivering cannabis. Isn't that the guy that owns Tesla or some shit? I don't know. I might have my information wrong. I was listening to him say we could do that. We could start delivering cannabis. I'm like, okay. That is so good. It would be, right? It would be. Uh I'm not going to lie either because Uber has I mean, I could go anywhere and call Uber anywhere. I went to my son's surgery when he had his chemotherapy and his mastectomy done. There was no way I was going to fight traffic going downtown. Called Uber. They had me there in a second. I like the idea of being disconnected because I don't know how to say that, but I just think as you grow older, you gain wisdom. And instead of jumping in, you begin to retreat back. and away from the noise, and it's not so important anymore whether or not you're keeping up with the Joneses or trying to one up someone or one down someone. It's like there's no fucking agenda anymore, And it's like I prefer and enjoy. I'm not going to say prefer, but I rather enjoy my quiet time, my downtime, my oasis, my little space. And I care. I get where you're coming from. I care, but I just don't give a shit anymore what other people think. It's not important to me anymore. I can say shit. I would dress, act, behave, drive, work, do because someone did. That's not authentic. And I don't know where the fuck I learned that shit. But as things begin to happen to you when you awaken, when you have a spiritual awakening, it's a whole different ballgame. There's no agenda for anything, anywhere. You don't judge, you don't label, you learn through compassion, and you garden and you love and you give back, right? And you teach or direct. I've always been a teacher. Always. Are you kidding me? Breathe into this incentive spirometer this way, sir. Retract the syringe this way, ma'am. I've been a nurse for 40 fucking years. I've been a teacher my entire life, or a respiratory therapist, and teaching patients, family, nurses, new nurses, doctors, for Christ's sake. So that's nothing new to teach. That's how we learn. That's how we gain wisdom. It changes you forever. Wow, you've been saying some pretty spot on things, because I think that's when my true awakening began, is when I retired in April 2018. And I remember having that very conversation and saying, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, because now I'm not needed. No prestige. I'm not the best nurse on the unit. They're not going to call me to start a line or to intubate or to do anything, because I was in high demand, right? And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? And it took a year to, I guess, really sink in. And I opened up the little soap shed. I retired from the Inland Empire, but the Central Coast, nursing. Nursing and respiratory, yeah. I think it's when you lose that, you don't lose it. You just somehow identify, yes, retired. You somehow identify with, I'm no longer needed, right? And that's all in the head. It's all an illusion that I was telling myself, but it took a whole year. I had my spiritual awakening March 28th, 2019. I retired April 10th, 2018. Almost a year to date. You had to retire for disability. I refused to, because of my back injury. They did dub me 70% disabled because of nerve compression, but I said, no, you're not tying me down. So I refused to take that diagnosis. I should have. I still should, but I don't know what it is. It's my dad, maybe just raised a baller for some reason, and I'll go like a fucking Energizer bunny, right? But I can't do it anymore. So when I retired, I said, that's enough. 40 years of this shit in the trenches. Mm-mm. And then I opened up the little soap shed, and now I'm working as a checker. I work as a checker now at the grocery store for income for my business or whatever. you know? But that's that's a that's a job right there. I never realized how hard they work. Never, and I never realized how much people eat. Fuck, people like to eat. I'm like, whoa, why are there so many people buying groceries? I'm like, I barely buy groceries. I'm like, I buy a half a pound, half a thing, and I'm like, I can't. Can you maybe make that a half a full? Because there's no way I'm gonna finish that before it goes bad. Because I can't do it. Oh, I mean, I think it's funny when you get older, you just retreat back, you sustain yourself better, more, you cut back, you scale back. You don't do a lot of unnecessary things that you don't need to do. You don't, because who, what for? Who are you trying to impress? There's no one to impress. There's no one to impress. If you're not impressed with yourself and you're not able to put yourself in Zen, and you're anything like I was, and you sought your individuality through people, places, and things, and you lived vicariously through them, and you created yourself an amazing amount of suffering due to it. That's nobody's fault but my own. Fuck. Now I'm like, now I'm like, now I'm 90, I'd have to say 90, 96%, 97% of the time. I wish I could get hired there. I I don't react. There is a period of residual that pops its head up when it's triggered, that lies within my psychological body or my physical body, because I had a very heavy physical pain body. But the minute it rears its head, I catch it because I know I am the observer. I know I'm the watcher of that thought. I know I'm the person that's thinking that thought. It's no different. No different. I'm going to put a video up tomorrow. I've been kind of, I don't think there's any way to make them perfect. And that's probably been one of my resistance, is trying to be I don't want to say a people pleaser, because it's not about people pleasing, but it's about nitpicking myself apart to make something perfect before I present it. And that's just bullshit. That's not realistic. That's just my ego, right? That's just my egoic self, or the egoic pattern of the old ways wanting to rear its ugly head at me. And I don't let it. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty amazing. I love it. Cheers, everybody. I am going to have to get over there and tell Jinxie about this. I made the most simplest dinner. You guys should try it. I made homemade granola. I move and act like your oldest sister. I've been told that a lot throughout my entire life, that I look or resemble or act like someone. We're no different. We're no different. Our upbringing, our journey, that's different. But we're the same one as sentinel beings. We're just beautiful sentinel beings having a human experience here in this 3D world. And if you make the most of it, you really miss her. I bet you do. I really miss my mother. I was just saying, I really wish I could talk to my mother, but she's here. I talk to her all the time. It's just not the same. That's a lot going on. That's a lot going on. See, I don't. I am like this. Everything has to be simple. Simple, right? I don't. And I don't mean that like I miss love. You miss love. You miss the love from your sister. He may be trying to cure his cancer. We never know where somebody's coming from using RSO, unknown Rick Simpson oil, aka hemp oil. Don't do that. Don't do that. You should know better. If you follow me for a second, you should know better. I make Rick Simpson oil, and it is not imitation, and I make it straight up from the master taught me himself. hmm And if somebody's doing that and saying it's hemp oil, they shame the hell on them. I haven't seen that, but I've seen other things. So just be careful. Just be careful. If you, there's a video on my channel on how to make it. Rick doesn't call his oil hemp oil. Rick doesn't call his oil hemp oil. He calls it Rick Simpson oil. That's why it's named after him. That's why his book is named after him. It's a lot of people, and this is what really irritates me. He may have said those things. I don't know. I'm not here to debate that or whether he did or didn't. But what really irritates me is that seniors, maybe they have, I don't know, $1,200 a month coming into them, and 600 of that goes to their medicine, and they still have to pay rent, and they still have to put groceries in their house. And then they go and get ripped off like that and get hemp oil and they bring it to me. I've seen that happen. So it does happen. I've been saying it for a minute. If you have to be an advocate for yourself. If you can ask the person, can you legally sell that to me? And if they say yes, then they better be able to produce a business license to you. If they say nothing or no, then I'd walk right there. Number two, do you have this tested? If they say yes, then they should be able to pull out a poop sheet and a batch number and a test sample from where they had it tested and hand it to you and read it. If they can't, I'd walk. Three, do you have a license in this county to legally sell that to me? You know how many smoke shops were selling stuff that was illegal that the FDA literally pulled off the shelf? That wasn't even a controlled substance or THC or CBD. It was straight up hemp, and people went to jail over it. It's not worth going to jail over. Mm-mm. Everybody has to do what everybody has to do to survive whatever they're going through, and we never know what that is unless we walk a mile in their shoes. That's why I always tell someone, if you have an opportunity and someone passes you in the day or steps in your path and they're not very kind to you, you can just, you don't have to act, react, respond. You can just say to yourself, I'm simply in the way. I don't know if they just had an accident, a flat tire, if they just got out of chemo, if their dog just died. I don't know anything. So I'm just simply in the way. That's it. And I have no reason to judge them for that. And if I can make them smile before they leave my presence and make their day better, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. 9 times out of 10, they leave with a smile. They leave with a smile or laughing. Because do you know it takes more energy to frown than it does to smile? Did you know that? Hemp is different than cannabis. If you're referring to hemp as far as hemp, like the books, the rope, it's different. Looks the same, not the same. Grows the same, not the same. I'm passing whoever wants it. I'm passing whoever wants it. I have pineapple stuff. I'm going to make some beautiful jasmine rice to go with it. No, that's not. That's not. It just people have a tendency to make it mean what they want it to mean, you know? And I just do this to them. Have at it. Have at it. So is THC, so is CBN, so is CBG, so is THC, so is Charmin toilet paper. The brand you use, which one? Everything is controversial if I make it, if I identify with it, right? I don't identify with it. So if that's what they need to do, I let them do what they need to do. I love your energy too. I'm not on their journey. Their journey's theirs. THC definition is subjective alone. Subjective? Okay, so there's a problem with that statement right there. Subjective. Subjective. What does that mean? Subjective. It's going to be interpreted, incorporated, thought of, said to be, how you doing, Minuteman? Or something by someone different as they perceive it, right? It's their perception. But and even industrial hemp companies, they have a perception of what their hemp does and what it is. And hemp, I would never for a million years talk down CBD, hemp oil, or any of those things, because hemp oil also has its medicinal purposes and proprieties for the human body. That is an amazing oil. How you doing, Minute Man? Happy 420, doll. I haven't spoken with him for a while. Marijuana is hemp. It's a form of hemp, yeah. Okay, if it's hemp, honey, to you. It's okay. Hemp is marijuana, okay. Isn't that an oxymoron? Or is that a paradox? What is that? Oxymoron. Rope is hemp too, isn't it? Paper. Paper. It's barley. It's barley. It's a legal term of art. Is it? See, you just schooled a girl because I didn't know that. Thank you. That is awesome. See, that's what I love about this community. I can get schooled. Everybody can. We all can agree it's cannabis, can't we? Yes. We all have common ground. Yes. We all have common ground. Mhm. I'm good. You was worried. Oh, no, no. No, no. I think my it took a minute for my Mac to catch up and sync for some reason, because now I have all these photos that I haven't seen for a second. We all agreed to agree. That's what I love about the 420 community. Did you see that? Did you see that? That spirit. Holy shizzle. I feel her. I'm vibrating on a level that's it's crazy. It's crazy. It's spirits, yes. Yes, they are real. I'm an intuitive psychic medium, so I do divinations. cards, tarot cards, and readings for people. And I sage and use Palo Santo and do the medicine wheel and some shaman healing work and Reiki practitioner. And so these are all positive spirits that are here that are my angels, my spirits, and ascended masters that are guiding me through this journey. They're taking me. They're holding my hand and when they are not holding my hand, they're pulling my ponytail and saying, "Come on, bitch, you're coming anyway." So I've just surrendered. And now I'm just rocking like a mofo. It's beautiful. The worst, we are our own worst enemy. And if I could tell anybody anything, stop resisting. I offer personal readings if you're interested. I take my readings very seriously, though. You're okay, honey. You don't have to feel bad about not catching me live. I'm nothing specific or special. You catch me, you catch me. You don't, you catch me on the replay and wave a hand to a girl and say, "Hey, waving a hand, girl. Had a busy day today." It's okay. Everybody's got a life. I understand. You want to see the ghost? Did you see it? She came in big as bold, man. She was here. She was here. And I've been talking about spirits and my spirituality and my awakening. So the minute I start to articulate it, she rocks me. And it flew from left to right, didn't it? It went, and that's what it does. She does. And she comes through and she leaves me profound messages. So the downloads are, boop, they're happening. Oh, oh, that's very sweet of you, honey. When I go into the Reiki circle, we have a Reiki circle. She's very fast. We have a Reiki circle. It's because my spirit animal is an owl and an eagle. Somebody came up to me after the circle. So what happens during the circle is everybody kind of sits in a circle and their chairs are, separated, and they have their hands in their lap, and they're trying to mindfully go within, stay vertical, grounded, right? In consciousness. And then the practitioner, we walk around and we place our hands on them and we do healing, right? Well, they don't know what practitioner's doing the healing at the time because their eyes are closed and they're in mindful meditation. And she came in and I remember her because she smelled delicious. She smelled like a goddamn rose bush. And I said, "You smell delicious, like a fresh picked rose." And I recalled her. And so it was just crazy. At the end of the circle, there was like four people who came up to me and they're like, do you see the color around you?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "I don't know what you're seeing. Could you tell me what you see?" And they'll tell me what they see in my aura. And they say, "The minute I walk in this room, the room is lit because of you." In the circle, is it's like a donation. We just put a singing bowl in the center, and it's like an hour long, even goes a little bit longer, and they put in $5 or $10 or whatever they choose to, right? And it's beautiful. And then their Reiki practitioners just split it, or we give it to the gal who's hosting the circle because it's her store and it's done in her studio, right? I don't really go for the profit. I go to give the Reiki. I go to give the Reiki. They're here all the time. I have two on this side and one here. So there's three with me all the time. all the time. I can't get out of bed, go anywhere, do anything without the three of them. And spirit speaks to me all the time, and they walk around my house. They guide me. That's what I keep asking you guys. If you knew what was coming intuitively, what would you do with that? I think you're partial, darling. My mother. I have the two on this side are gentlemen, and the one on this side is female. I believe this is my mother, and I believe this is my father and my brother. The spirit you saw go from left to right, I have two ascended angels, two ascended masters, and one guide. And you saw my guide come in, bringing me a download. And she's rapid, and she goes, and she'll be dark and then look to light. And that's generally how it goes, because to get to a spiritual awakening, you must go through the darkness. What's the darkness? The samsara, the suffering we've caused for ourselves our entire life. I don't smoke with them. They probably smoke. They probably knew about medicinal cannabis way before we did. I'll tell you, if this is a cannabis trip, if this was the cannabis trip, this is the cannabis trip you would want. Everyone is seeking this. I know for a fact that if it doesn't serve you and it's harming you, it will fall away because God will remove it. Woohoo for weed, baby. Cheers. What are you doing, Callie? How you doing, girl? No, I'm not tripping. Honest. I've never really had a bad trip from cannabis except the first time I smoked. Like I told you guys, I couldn't get up off the curb. I was heavily medicated. And they're like, are you going to class? I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to class. My teacher will call my parents. Cannabis doesn't cause trips. Why doesn't it cause trips? Because it doesn't affect the brain stem like opioids do. So it can't cause you to overdose. You have to, I think what it is, it's the psychoactive effects that some people call the trip, right? Like the room's spinning, I'm nauseated, I gotta go lay down. The bed's turning, right? That's a psychoactive effect you're having from cannabis. And you probably need to go sleep it off. But I've treated patients in my ER for it. I've treated them in my ER. I could smell my chicken, so I'm gonna go make my cornstarch and my tablespoon and thicken up the sauce. Thank you guys so much for joining me for 420. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you again for the donation at 420. Look at that. Perfect timing, 420. Love the donation. Namaste. You guys stay safe during 420. I'm going to make some jasmine rice and thicken up this sauce. Your wife wants to know how to get some soap. She can reach out to me down in the links in the description below, or on Instagram at Starlet1995. Thank you, P Win. You're so sweet. And look at that, P Win. You're so sweet, darling. She can also just leave a comment, or she can email me, or she can go to www.littlesoapshed.com and she can place an order, and my phone will ring and they'll notify me of her order. But if she wants something specific or a wholesale order, it's better just to reach out to me on Instagram because then I can get it to you ASAP. Yes, P-Win, P-Win. Namaste to you, my darling. Whatever you gave today to me, to the channel, goes back and it will be brought back to you, my friend, tenfold. What a beautiful soul you are to do that. Not necessary. Know that it's not necessary, okay? Let me take one more rip and get my little boot ass out of here. Okay, if you got me on Instagram, you can reach out there and I'll be happy to send some out to you. I do all kinds of products, so if there's something specific you're looking for, don't hesitate to ask me. If I don't have it, I'll probably make it. Cheers. We. I have got to go talk to him. You guys not heard me cough. One time. I coughed on this, didn't I? But I didn't cough on the 9-pound hammer. I'm not tripping, Minuteman. I'm going to go eat me some beautiful dinner. I made chocolate covered strawberries and infused almonds, and the house is all clean. And I'm going to finish wrapping up my samples to give away. I made a bunch of samples because I like to send out samples to everybody. And I'm just going to enjoy my evening. I love you guys so, so much. P-Win, thank you again for your donation. It means so, so much. The lights are in there. Know that everything that comes to the channel comes back to the channel. So I'm waiting to move the tents around. I've just flipped the girls. So namaste, everybody. Peace.